Hey y'all, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Brandon Snyder, team leader of selling with the Snyder Group here. And today we are talking the 10 most popular communities in the greater Houston area as of Q3 2023. Before we get started, if you're returning to the channel or this is your first time here, the best thing you can do to stay on top of Houston real estate news, trending homes, trending communities, and topics is to like and subscribe. Go ahead, click that notification button. Click that subscribe button. That way you can stay up to date as new videos get released every week. So HAR.com, which is one of our MLS systems in the greater Houston area, came out with a list of top 10 communities across the greater Houston area. And if you're not from Houston, the greater Houston area is pretty big. So we're going to span all the way from the west side of town, pushing I-10, almost on the way to San Antonio, going up northeast past Lake Houston. We're going to go all over the place, even down towards Galveston. So this is a pretty wide list, but you're going to see the top 10 communities in the greater Houston area as put out by HAR.com. Number one, Fulshear, Brookshire, Simonton. Now, for quite a few years, this has been a pretty rural area. There's always been commercial development moving west towards this area, coming from Katy as Katy has grown. We're in the Katy area. It was cows on the side of the road still, that type of thing. And now as you push towards west, it's a lot more commercialized. But Simonton is still rural, but it's becoming a growing community. One of my highlights out there that I'd highly recommend if you haven't had a chance yet is Anthony's. That's out in Simonton. It is an amazing restaurant. Chef Anthony has a wonderful menu out there. Highly recommend you take a look at it. Fulshear has its own community. It's thriving, it's growing, but it is definitely growing partially due to the community there. You have things like the Fulshear Freedom Fest. You have multiple people who are engaged in that community. As it's growing, it's still getting that small town feel. Even with all the new home communities going up out there, Chesmar has a new community that's out there. Perry has homes out there. You have Weston Lakes, which is actually its own city, but you have that part of the Fulshear area is growing and people are wanting to move there for the luxury amenities that are there as well. And lastly, you have Brookshire. Now, Brookshire is closer to the I-10 corridor. Now, it does go south of I-10 and it will give you more of a rural feel more south you go of I-10, but Brookshire is actually right next to Katy on I-10 and extends all the way down I-10 closer to Sealy. Now, one of the important things about Brookshire to note is that you will have a mix of new construction homes and rural homes in the Brookshire community. So it's something to keep an eye on. If you're not expecting rural and you think Brookshire, well, you may run into rural homes going to the Brookshire area. And number two is Cypress South. I actually live close to the Cypress area. And I will tell you that one of the things I love about the Cypress area is that there's accessibility to everything. Now, Cypress South specifically is talking about the corridor south of Highway 290. That can take you all the way up to College Station and Austin. But Highway 290 coming from Houston, south of 290, you have Bridgeland and Town Lake as two of the major master plan communities that are accessible in Cypress off of 290. Now I'm going to give you a couple of things about each of those communities that I would pay attention to. Town Lake is exactly what it sounds like. There is a lake throughout the community. You can actually, depending on what part of Town Lake you live in, boat to the boardwalk, eat dinner, and then boat back to your house. Now this is luxury style living starting in the sometimes 5, 6, 700s. So you're not actually paying millions of dollars to live near the water, live near this gorgeous community. Some highlights in Town Lake that I would recommend you check out would be Ambrisa. That is an incredible traditional Spanish restaurant. Highly recommend you check that out. Another one of our favorites over there is Hop Dottie's Burger Bar. Newly added to Town Lake is Kilwin's, which is an amazing chocolatier. It is a nationwide business that has actually gone into Town Lake. It was just put in there a few months ago. It's incredible. Highly recommend you check it out. And that living in Town Lake just has such a different experience to it. Now, let's talk about Bridgeland. There's a little bit different things going on here in Bridgeland as opposed to Town Lake. Bridgeland is your more traditional master plan community. There are tons of homes being built. Now, you are going to be living in a more luxury style community, but something of note is that there are different styles of homes for everyone in that neighborhood. So in certain parts of Town Lake, you may have 3-story townhomes on smaller lots, or you may have the larger Perry, Weston, and even some custom builders, bigger 4,000, 5,000 square foot homes in that area as well. So something of note is that there's a little bit of everything for everyone in Bridgeland. Now, Bridgeland actually starts pushing towards Katy on Fry Road, so you get more affordability. There's different homes in different price ranges. You're also pushing into the Marvita community, which is another gorgeous community as well, which has a ton of builders. But I would say one of the biggest things about Bridgeland is the community as well. You have so much community going on in the neighborhood, just like we talked about in Fulshear. But Bridgeland has its own events. It has its own farmers markets. When you go to the Bridgeland Square, you're seeing different restaurants and different things going on, but you're always seeing people, they know each other. If you go up to the local table, local bars, two of our favorite restaurants / bars there, highly recommend you check them out. But there's so much going on there. So you have Cypress just booming and everyone's wanting to move here now. Part of that push came from the people who originally moved to Katy because it was the third fastest city growing in the country. And now people are moving to Cypress South as well. Number 3 is Santa Fe, Texas. I've been to Santa Fe a couple of times, and a few years ago I would have told you that I have no idea why people are moving down there, but I can tell you that a lot of it has to do with this being in Galveston County. So you are seeing more of a small town feel, which we're seeing that trend in real estate recently as more people are wanting to move to a small town feel. Santa Fe is that for you. They have a winery, that's one of the highlights, but they are in Galveston County. Santa Fe is really close to Galveston County. Galveston itself. So you're actually going to be pretty close to just driving down for the day for water. You can go and see Galveston, explore that, even go further south and go to some of the lesser known beaches that are less populated, less tourism going on there as well. Number 4 is Briarmeadow and Tanglewide. Now, when I saw this on the list, I was really excited about this because one of the things we have going on in the southwest corridor of Houston is we have the West Chase area. West Chase is known for office buildings, large companies move there, they move their headquarters there, there's a lot of oil and gas down there. But my favorite thing near West Chase is actually the Bel Air District. So the Bel Air District has a multi-Asian cultured, just food bonanza. There's so many different restaurants. Some of my favorites are, I'm gonna mess this up because I always do. Sinsin and Tantan. Those are 2 of my favorite recommendations down there. Highly recommend you check it out. When you go down to the West Chase area, you're also minutes away from the Galleria. So you can literally drive down Westheimer, get to the Galleria, go shopping at some of the luxury places like Louis Vuitton and Gucci. But you can also go explore what the Galleria has to offer. Ruth's Chris is over there. The Ocean Air is over there. So many great restaurants and steakhouses. You're minutes away from being there by moving to the West Chase area, which is why I was definitely not shocked when I saw the Tanglewide Briar Grove on there. And number 5 is Tomball. Now, I am absolutely ecstatic about this one. Tomball is one of my favorite places. It's actually where I'm going to be moving to with my wife, Mary, in the near future. One of the main reasons why we love Tomball is the population is so small, but there's so many different things going on. A couple of highlights I want to mention about Tomball. They have the German Festival twice a year, which is gorgeous. It is incredible, and it is always busy. There's so many dances and music and all kinds of food and all types of vendors. It's an absolutely amazing experience twice a year. Highly recommend you check it out. But secondly, most people don't know that Tomball was a train town. Now, there's a lot of those in the greater Houston area. You actually have a train museum in Rosenberg. Galveston had a museum at one point. You have this culture of trains, and I grew up, my dad actually worked and still works at Union Pacific Railroad. And so it's amazing because there's so much culture and history within the railroad community, and Tomball exemplifies that. I'm gonna give you a couple recommendations. I highly recommend that you check out Tejas Chocolatier and Barbecue. They're more known for their barbecue than they are for chocolates, but their chocolates are great as well. They also have a burger joint there. Now, here's the cool thing about Tomball. It's not just barbecue. Bonfire Grill is another recommendation of ours. They're in the heart of Tomball. They have a great patio. Highly recommend the atmosphere. And I'm going to give you one more recommendation that I think you should check out in Tomball. It is abundant for restaurants, but one thing that they're known for is their breweries. So there's 2 big breweries, one of them being Paradigm Brewery and the second one being Fire Ant. Highly recommend that you check out both of those. There's no doubt in my mind that those are some of the main reasons why they showed up on this list, among other things, including the affordable housing. Just there's great homes for sale in the Tomball area, especially with the culture and just everything going on there. The homes are affordable. Top rated schools are there as well. Tomball ISD consistently ranks in the state in the top rankings. Number 6 is Denver Harbor. So Denver Harbor is literally right next to the Port of Houston, and there is no doubt in my mind why this is on the list, because the industry of shipping and receiving this coming in and out of that port, plus oil and gas, it's already down there with the refineries. The workers that work down there, they want to live closer to their work, so they are relocating to that area because it's closer and more convenient, and it's minutes from East Downtown, as we conveniently call it, Edo. You can go to Minute Maid Park, you can go eat all the delicious food out there, and you are just minutes away from that, barring any traffic, if you move to Denver Harbor. Number 7 is Magnolia and 1488 East. Now, this has blown up since I've been to Texas. I've been here since 2009, and I can tell you that it used to just be a lot of farm roads and driving back there. Of course, the Renaissance Festival is back there. That's one of the highlights throughout the year. It's actually going on right now until the end of November. But Magnolia has grown so much. There's so much new construction going on out there, but one of the things that really draws people towards Magnolia is the land. You get a small town rural feel while being minutes away from the woodlands, being minutes away from Lake Conroe. It is absolutely gorgeous out there. I highly recommend the next time you're out here driving through 1488, just driving through the country and seeing what's out there. There's a ton of homes available with acreage, or if you want new construction, there's big master plan communities out there, such as Audubon. And if you even go a little bit more north to Montgomery, you're going to be in Wood Forest, which is a huge community. It literally has its own ecosystem and restaurants, etc. Number 8 is Huffman. Huffman is probably a little less known to most people, but I can tell you the biggest reason why Huffman is so popular is because it's right next to Lake Houston. Now, Huffman is going to be northeast of Houston, and you're going to have Lake Houston, which quite honestly is probably my favorite lake because it is less tourist minded. It is more relaxed, retirement, and enjoy. So Huffman is on this list, being close to Lake Houston, being close to the airport. It is a perfect area to settle down and kind of just relax. Number 9 is the Rice and Museum District area. Now, if you're not from Houston and maybe you haven't lived in a metropolitan area like Houston, the Museum District is one of the most popular areas around. And the reason being is because you have so much going on within a small space. You have Discovery Green, you have the zoo, you have all the museums of natural science, you have art museums. There's so many things going on. Spoiler alert, don't go on a weekend, go during a weekday. Trust me, you'll thank me later. But also the Rice District is literally right next to the Rice College. Now, university, there's going to be a ton of housing available there. A lot of college students will move here and move to that area. There's a ton of affordable housing out there. And also, there's more luxury available with 3-story townhomes, etc. in that area. And number 10 is Sugarland North. Now, I love Sugarland. Fun fact, we actually host all of our client events throughout the year at different locations, but our favorite one is at the Sugarland Constellation Field where the Sugarland Space Cowboys play. They're a minor league affiliate for the Astros, and we love hosting our clients there. But Sugarland has so much more going on for it. You have the Smart Financial Center, which is one of the major places where comedians and bands are traveling and coming and performing now. We used to only have the Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion in the Woodlands, and now we have Smart Financial Center, so it's nicer because not all of us want to drive to the Woodlands to go see a show. Sugarland's got a lot going on. It has an amazing culture. It has a ton of great food. Like 100% would recommend going to Sugarland and going and getting food down there. Now, Sugarland coincidentally goes straight up to Houston. You can take 59 and go up to Houston. So the location is great because you can buy a home that you love in that area, live in that amazing culture, and then you're literally a hop, skip, and a jump up to the Houston area. Now, what I will tell you is that when people think Sugarland, it is not Katy. So Sugarland is actually south of Katy by about 20-25 minutes. And I would recommend, if you're thinking of the Katy area or the Sugarland area, would highly recommend Sugarland due to the fact that it is less congested traffic just by going south an extra 15-20 minutes, and you still have access to Houston. So with that being said, there are your Q3 2023 top 10 neighborhoods in the greater Houston area. I thank you so much for joining me today. This has been fun talking about some of our favorite places, some of our favorite areas in the greater Houston area. Remember, if you need a real estate team to help you either locate here or go out of the state, our contact information is below, and we'd be happy and blessed to serve your family in your need. Now, once again, if you have not liked and subscribed, go ahead and do that now before we get done, and you can stay tuned for all of our new episodes coming out. Thanks. We'll talk soon.